Hi, I'm Tracy Schuhmacher. I'm the food and drink reporter for the Democrat and Chronicle, and I'm here in the D&C Digital studio with Vince Press. Vince writes the I'm in the Mood For column for Rochester Magazine, and there you go, nice Vanna White impression.
It's true.
And he, what did you write about this month?
Octopus.
Octopus.
For October. Yeah, it was great.
Is that how you chose it? October?
No, it didn't. It's the 10th month, which doesn't make sense because of the 8 arms.
Yeah,
But-
got it.
so-
Well, so tell me about Octopus. Why did you decide why did you decide to go with this?
Well, each month I pick things that are seasonal, things that warm us in the winter, so to speak, and cool us in the summer, and things that are trendy. So I saw Octopus appearing in my travels on more menus. It only used to be on 2 or 3 menus. You know, it was at Mark Kuplo at Roccos has had it on his menu for 7 years. Chef Pasquale, who's at Amori now, has had it on his menu for a number of years. And then some Dominican places have always had a salad, almost ceviche-like. But now it's on a dozen menus around town. So I said, I better do this.
Cool.
Yeah.
So for people who haven't tried it, what does octopus taste like?
Well, it's a mollusk like calamari or squid or clams. It's a shellless mollusk. And it's funny because a lot of people say their first reaction is, oh, octopus, I don't know if I want to try that. But if you like calamari, and many people do,
Especially here, yeah.
A, because it's fried,
Yeah.
and a lot of us like anything that's fried. It's actually can be more tender than calamari. And it's generally not fried. It's generally grilled and sometimes boiled. And if it's done right, and there are a lot of places in town doing it right, it can be even more tender and more mild than calamari.
And it sounds like it might be healthier because it's not fried.
It's true.
That's a little bonus, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So tell me about, octopus is known kind of for those little suction cups
Yeah.
on, which I don't know, to me might be off-putting to certain people. I have picky eaters in my family and I can see them, having a problem with it.
Certainly.
Do they have a different texture? Do they stick to the roof of your mouth?
They don't. It's a good question. And not the first person that asked me. Incidentally enough, I got so many octopus emojis by text after I wrote this article from people. It's funny. And so it's stirring some conversation. But
I'll have to look those up.
They don't stick to the roof of your mouth. This here, pictured here, by the way, is Roccos baby octopus dish. And this is a good starting point. So as I said in my article, if you're an octo version, that is the place to start. Some of the other ones, like Amore has a great dish, have bigger suction cups, but with the sauces and because it's grilled, it's really soft. And
So you don't discern them separately?
not necessarily, no.
Okay.
And you cut them up. You're not really shoving giant, tentacles. And they're arms, by the way, not legs. People make that distinction, and this is a great place to start. So go over to Rocco and taste this.
And what makes this a good place? Just because they're little?
They're little, they're baby, and actually I researched this to discern whether a baby octopus is a juvenile octopus or whether it's a species unto itself, and I think they are baby octopus. They're just smaller octopus.
Oh, okay.
Very tender. What Mark does over at Rocco is he, usually you boil them or simmer them in some way before they hit the grill. This is marinated almost in a Caesar dressing. Which is really, really great. And then they go straight on the flames for a good 5 to 6 minutes. And his is slathered in some salsa verde over these wonderful, really magical bitter greens with a limoncello dressing or vinaigrette on them.
I can't wait to dig in. It looks delicious.
Yeah, we're going to try it.
Well, and I can see a really nice char on the ends of those arms, I guess. I would imagine that would give it a nice flavor and texture as well.
It does, and a lot of folks, and most of the octopus that are being sourced come here frozen, which is a good thing. It actually helps tenderize it and preserve it most of them are Spanish or they come from the Mediterranean, and they're all really fresh in town in the 6 or 7 places I went. So
cool. Well, you talked about this as a starter dish. Another one you mentioned in your article was Demangu. I'm
Yeah,
sure I'm saying that wrong.
Demango. Yeah.
Demangu, the Dominican Place in Henrietta.
Yeah.
Now that struck me as a place where it might be a good place to start, just because everything's all chopped up together into a salad and served with crispy fried plantains. Do you
Exactly.
agree that would be a place to start, or no?
You could. It's different. It tends to be some of the Dominican places in town usually use octopus in salads with rice or with beans. Some are served cold, like the dish you referred to. Some are hotter, but it is chopped up. Some can be, by design, a little bit chewier at the Dominican places.
They like it chewier.
Because it's not grilled. But I would try both. But you're right. It's not the long quarter octopus on a plate. That
Yeah.
Roccos
Visually,
are
it might
great.
be easier to get over,
It's
too.
true, and that is a wonderful place. It's almost ceviche-like with lime juice and chopped up tomatoes and onions and such. So
Sounds like nice, fresh.
it is.
Flavors.
It's wonderful.
I love that kind of thing.
Surprisingly great.
So I think you came prepared with some fun facts about octopus.
Octopuses is one of the facts. That's the plural. And
Octopuses.
Octopi in some parts of the world, but octopuses is the plural. I came up with 8 facts
For
because
8
they
legs,
have
right?
8 arms. Actually,
Arms.
they have 4 pairs of arms. So it's not really 8, it's 4 pairs. And they have 3 hearts. So that was one.
I didn't know they had 3 hearts.
Yeah,
Wow.
3 hearts. I don't know why, but they have 3. I did say it was a mollusk invertebrate. Frozen is actually, a lot of chefs will say, we don't
Right.
tell anybody anything's frozen, but it actually isn't a bad thing. We talked about it being a juvenile octopus, a baby octopus like this one here. Octopuses is the plural. Folklore suggests that there's many ways to tenderize octopus, so you're boiling it before you grill it. But what they did in Spain and sometimes Italy is boiled it with wine corks.
And didn't somebody in your story do that?
Yeah, I think actually at Orbs in the South Wedge, which is one of my favorite newer places,
Yeah,
throws
Orbs
wine
is cool.
corks in. Yeah, and boiling it in a copper pot was one of the one of the stories I heard. Boiling it in a dairy product like milk or cream, but largely.
That's a traditional way of doing certain fish.
Yeah.
I had an Irish roommate that used to always simmer fish in milk.
Yep. And some of the places did that, but largely they were just, straight braising and then onto the grill. If you want to get it here in Rochester on the retail side of things and try it yourself, which may be a next step after you love it so much, Palmer's has it, Rubino's has a frozen product, and usually the Pittsford Wegmans.
Cool.
So that was a fun fact. And it's very often paired with smoked paprika, which is traditionally a Spanish spice. And since a lot of them are Mediterranean, I found that in a number of the places I went.
Makes perfect sense. It has a nice, obviously, smoky flavor.
Yeah.
So what are you working on next for Rochester Magazine?
The November issue is white chili.
White chili.
I try to do things, make my job hard. Not just chili, but white chili.
Yeah, chili might have been almost too easy.
It would have been daunting.
I would have had a hard time picking out chili.
Yeah, I'd love ideas too, if anyone knows a great white chili in town.
And how do they reach out to you if they want to send you an idea?
Twitter's great, @VLPress, @VLPRESS would be great. So
Cool.
If you have a critique of what I write, or feel free to send me suggestions. Are we going to try this? You want to try it or not? What do you think?
I first have to just remind people that this story is on the newsstand right now, or you can access it at democratandchronicle.com. And you can reach out to me on Twitter at RahChaChow, RahChaChow, with ideas for who you want to see interviewed in the studio. So, you ready?
I'm ready.
Should we dig in?
You can pick a skewer.
All right. Looks delicious.
And this is on a bed of these bitter greens, and they're just wonderful.
Cheers.
Cheers. They're really great.
I like that char and the, the texture that the grilling gives it. Yum.
Yep. And this is really garlicky salsa verde with capers and some mint and some jalapenos. It has a bite to it. Not too chewy.
No,
right?
really delicious. So give octopus a try.
And the salad's great too underneath. So, yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here.